I don't know if it's a good idea for me to record videos this early. I keep pushing it further and further backwards. I'm not entirely sure if it's a great idea for me to roll out of bed and immediately start casting SC2. I've got myself a little bit of coffee. I've got myself a big bottle of water. I'm gonna go ahead and give this a try. This might be a horrible experiment. But anyways, what I've got for you today is a best-of-5 series of top-level Protoss versus Zerg, where in game number 1, we find ourselves on the map Stargazers. Now, spawning here in the top right-hand corner, playing with the blue Protoss probes, we have herO. His opponent in the opposite, well, actually, no, in the top left, not the opposite corner. In, you know, if you flip the map vertically, if you draw a vertical line through the center of the map and then you flip it, then it would still not be the opposite. Anyways, from South Korea as well, we're looking at Dark's main hatchery. So here's the thing, because of the holidays and because things are a little bit chaotic right now, right, with people expecting you to be places, especially around Christmas time and New Year's and all that, I've been trying to produce 2 videos a day. And it turns out when you're trying to make 2 videos in the morning, you do need to get started a little bit earlier. I know, this is crazy. Anyways, this particular series, it is the grand finals of, let me get the title straight. It is called the Into the Alpha X Super Series. I believe this is version 91 of that event. I've casted a bunch of series actually from this tournament before. Don't think I've mentioned the actual tournament name in the past, which I probably should be doing a little bit more frequently because some of you have been asking, Loko, what tournament is this from? Which series is this played? So this is the Into the Alpha X Super Series, the grand finals. I believe it's a 4-man invitational, so a relatively small tournament overall, but there's a couple $100 on the line, so obviously the players will be trying their very best. The thing is, since both of these guys are teammates, and they've both been competing at this level for a very, very long time, they know exactly what to expect from the opponent. And honestly, whenever I see this, right, whenever I see a pylon as part of the wall-off, it is screaming Baneling bust to me. Maybe I'm completely wrong. I'd like to be mistaken. Where's Dark's Overlords, by the way? Okay, yeah, there's one right over here. It must have been right on the edge right there of the cliff. But anyways, when you scout this as a Zerg player, and I know that the Zerg players that are watching this know that feeling very well, when you put a pylon in the wall off, I would go for a Baneling bust right away. I know it's probably not the right call because, well, when push comes to shove, herO will probably just double up on the wall and put another structure right over there, make a new pylon and everything is a-okay. But I would certainly be considering it. Dark, however, smarter than me. Dark does not take the bait. He knows very well what herO is trying to do here. I would take the bait every time, okay? If you ever meet me on the ladder, you put a pylon in your wall off, I'm gonna be Baneling busting you, okay? It's just too juicy. There's definitely a reason, though, why herO has put it over here. I can only imagine it's because he wants his opponent to Baneling bust, because otherwise it just doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Anyways, Dark pulled the drones out of the gas geyser. Well, now he's adding them back in. Honestly, a little bit before you normally would. If he actually goes for a Baneling bust, I would sound really smart, so I would appreciate that, Dark. Nice snipe right here. Second drone. Nicely done by herO. Should be able to get that adept out as well, because link speed is not done just yet. And there we go. You do need to run, though, because link speed is not too far behind. Keep going. Oh, okay, you're gonna join with a friend. Fair enough. Spore Crawler number 1 coming up. That is just in case it would be an Oracle opener, which it is. Zergling actually managed to... How did that... Okay, must have just run past. Guess he probably just ran past right as the second adept had left the natural. Either way, still pretty successful here, but not as much value as that very first one. Beautiful timing on that on the Spore Crawler. Oracle shows up, still gets 2 kills. So let's see. 4 drones here, 5 Zerglings at the cost of just a single adept. If you lose both of the adepts, it can be kind of tricky to actually take your 3rd Nexus, but herO still going to be planting it down relatively early. This is a little bit later than you ideally want it. Usually you start this one up about 10 to 20 seconds earlier, although obviously you can spend those resources elsewhere temporarily. And in this case, apparently, it's going to be a single Phoenix. Interesting. I wonder if that Phoenix is just here to kill Overlords? Yeah. So we've seen guys like, for example, Zaun make a single Void Ray for a very similar reason. Obviously, the Void Ray is also really good when it comes to, well, making sure you don't lose. Phoenix is not as good when they're just in singular numbers, but still nice to deny that Overlord scouting. Not that many Overlords out on the map, though, in general here, Dark. Yeah, he doesn't want to be committing too much. So, he's got one right over here. Any Overlord you get right now is value. The first one might be a little bit expensive for just a single Phoenix, but okay. Any that you get after that is actually quite nice. You gotta be careful. You don't move the queens too far off creep either, because then suddenly those oracles will jump you. Anyhow, the follow-up right here from herO is what we have seen and, well, come to expect for a long time now. It's gonna be Blink Stalkers together with the +1. Ooh, no. Good retargeting right there by Dark. So what herO is trying to do there is come in at the perfect angle to get that other oracle to be shot at by the Spore Crawler, but you can actually manually target fire with Spore Crawlers. Not something that a lot of lower league Zerg players will do, aka players, you know, below like the top 5. But yeah, retargeting with Spore Crawlers is very, very nice. Still gets a bunch of workers though in total. Is he gonna lose the second oracle? No, that one will stay alive. Super important. Losing both of the oracles would actually really suck because you do need this for follow-up scouts. So like I said, it's gonna be Blink together with the +1 ground weapons here for herO. You're not completely out of the water yet though. It's a pretty decent start here for herO, all things considered. But you do really want to keep one of those oracles alive, just so you can at the very least get a follow-up scout in, because there's still the potential. There's still the potential that it could be like a quick Spire on the back of this, or whatever, right? There's a variety of Zerg builds that can still be very, very annoying, and you would prefer scouting it out. Now, this is another one of those options that you really do want to see coming from a mile away, and herO actually sees a whole lot of Banelings. Is he not going to cancel those? What? That was surprising to me. What in the, he just, okay. Well, now he's made all of this. No. He made all of this, but that funky wall-off here from herO actually playing against him a whole lot more. Love this, actually. The fact that a couple of links split off from the pack. So they're gonna try and, I think, morph into Banelings here later on and then just, well, walk into the mineral line. It's a little bit ambitious, but it works out, yeah. More often than not. It's a Zerg versus Zerg classic. Can definitely work in ZVP as well, but this now all of a sudden makes the game a whole lot better for herO though. That was a massive commitment. Yeah, look at the resources lost. Maybe these Banelings can change the tide of battle, but in a way they almost have to right now because those Zerglings are still being chased around. There is an Immortal. Juicy target to try and jump onto. Oh no, okay, he is paying attention. I was gonna say, that would be really sloppy, because you can see them coming from really far away, right? You've got a lot of vision. Good splits right there on the Stalkers. The Zerglings trying to create as much a distraction as possible, but yeah, Dark not having the early game that he was hoping for, and yet he's doubling down on the Zergling production. So he's only got 52 workers here. He's going for the +2 melee. Unless he's expecting an attack here from herO very soon. Which, I mean, there might just be, but he's got a ton of links. Yeah, 76 Zerglings at this point. 86. Yeah, he's adding out even more. So he's going over 100 Zerglings. One way to come back into a game like this is to just simply absolutely crush that Protoss attack. Obviously, this is a very Stalker-heavy army. There's now Disruptors coming on the back of this too. Disruptors are not particularly good against Zergling Baneling armies. And Zergling Baneling does kill everything that herO has so far. It's just very flimsy if, for example, there would be a Colossus added into the mix, right? I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing a couple of Colossi coming out right now out of the Protoss here. No revelation on that Oracle. That means that the Zerglings will be able to run at full speed. Good trigger right there, and now he's going to commit. That is so many Zerglings. Okay, maybe Disruptors aren't supposed to be amazing, but at the very least they do zone away against those Banelings temporarily. But he is absolutely going to crush this army. At the same time, though, there was a big Zealot warp in inside of that pocket expansion of the Zerg. Hive is coming up, right under vision of those Zealots as well. And without Banelings, oh my god, these Zealots are going to have a grand old time. Good splits. He's going to get the pocket hatch as well. Or, well, not the pocket hatch. The macro hatch. Somehow there's a drone underneath that one. What? Hold up, I need to go back. So he's... Where did that drone... Oh, it's this drone. That was funny. I thought for a second the hatchery died, and somehow the drone that had started the hatchery was still in there. But it just got pushed right to the middle of that, though. Okay, alright. I'm glad we got to the bottom of that. Upon realizing, though, that this is not a Roach Ravagerling Bane army, herO immediately goes into Colossi, which I think is a great idea. But honestly, right, this trade, sure, he crushed that army. Sure, Protoss ended up losing a lot of expensive units, but at this point, Protoss still has the economical lead. And that's really not where Zergs want to be at this point in the game. So, I'm not exactly sure what the yeah, the long-term plan from Dark is going to be here. So he's got +2/+1 coming up. Okay, fair enough. I guess Adrenal Glands will be started up right away, and he'll probably go into a Viper or two. But this is going to be a, yeah, very nice Protoss army. I think if herO just takes a breather here for a little bit, maybe tries to get a max out army, I think he's got a lot of potential. Now, obviously, this is herO we're talking about, so he's probably going to start marching around the map. That's what he loves to do. Now, in his mind, Brute Lords probably are coming up very soon, or maybe like a Lurker transition or something along those lines. But honestly, none of that is happening. Oh my god. That Colossus is going to have such a good time. So Colossi, they deal bonus damage against light units, and Zerglings are light. So this is a complete glass cannon army here from Dark. Just Zerglings and a bunch of Banelings. Adrenal Glands will give them like 40% more attack speed, which is huge. But again, it's just Zerglings and Banelings. Only just now is when Baneling speed is going to finish up as well. Centrifugal hooks. Yeah, I think what herO is doing right here is the correct move. Just take a chill pill, just relax for a little bit, just sit back and try to make as big an army here as possible. If you go for, I don't think Immortals are really needed. Maybe he's really concerned that there's going to be like, I don't know, Ultras even coming up, right? Ultras would be pretty strong against just a gateway-based army with a couple of Robo Bay units, but Immortals would shut that down quite nicely. I think that's the reason. But Archon Immortal, Disruptor Colossus, bunch of Zealots in the mix, maybe some Stalkers from the mid-game. I don't mind it. Okay. So, now what, Dark? What are we gonna do? I honestly feel like he should wait a little bit longer. Okay, one more Warp in. Yeah, now he's maxed. Large Zergling Baneling counterattack. But what exactly are you going to do to address this army? How many Banelings does he have? He's got 159 Zerglings. Okay, well, he's going to collapse right on top of this. Archon's not in the right place, actually. Disruptors get picked up as well. Nicely done. Sonic Storm would probably not be a luxury either, although currently he doesn't have that upgrade. 45 workers, though, have gone down already, and I think Dark's plan... Oh, I think Dark's plan is to just go for a complete counterattack. Sentry? No, no Sentry. I thought it was a Sentry, but he decides to go for a High Templar instead. These Zerglings, they pack a punch. They're incredibly powerful. They can't really fight Archons and Colossi head-on, but what they can do is just stream into the Protoss bases. Obviously, the win condition in the game of StarCraft 2 is to destroy all of your opponent's structures, and Dark has gotten the memo. 70 probes just went down. And Dark is actually playing against the Protoss with 0 workers. Oh my god. Zerglings with Adrenal Glands absolutely murder stuff. Just the structures alone. They go down very rapidly. So herO's like, yo, come fight me, man. Hello, why aren't you fighting me, man? You're supposed to be fighting me, dude. Okay. Purification Nova, nicely dodged against. And now with the Protoss army split up, yeah, a lot of those reinforcements came on at home. Oh my god, Dark. Dark has stopped thinking in unit counters entirely. I've noticed this in a bunch of the games that I've casted featuring him over the last couple of weeks. Unit counters are just a mindset, apparently. There's a Colossus drop coming back home, I guess. Actually nuts. If you can kill that Nexus, there's no more recall potential either, although, yeah, those Zerglings are derping a little bit. Okay, look at how quickly they kill that Nexus. +3 melee just finished up as well, so they're now at their maximum damage output. A drop Colossi into, or Colossus rather, into the main base is going to be tasked with clearing out all of this Zerg infestation, whereas in the meantime, on the other side of the map, the Hive is falling. Keep in mind that Zerg can obviously expand much easier around the map, and that's exactly what's happening right now. With 0 probes, what exactly is herO going to be able to do? Because he can't make another Nexus. The Zerg buildings are hidden all over the map, so if you look right here at the Structures tab, if these structures fall, that's the end of this game for herO. These pylons might actually become... Yeah, those are the last 2 pylons. They are absolutely essential. They're in really good positions as well. Okay, 2 Archons and a Colossus. If you just park that right over here, I don't think Zerglings are going to be able to kill that very easily. But there is an Ultralisk Cavern that was built by Dark, by the way. So he's now going for a bunch of those bad boys as well. He never got the chitinous plating upgrade, but I don't know if he can really afford it. Oh, Colossus, don't lose the Colossus. 41 confirmed kills, by the way. How many immortals do we have? Just the one. Just the one. Okay, that prism is made out of gold right now. Absolutely essential structure. Well, it's kind of a structure. Okay. Ooh, did he spot that? Okay, now he spots it. Yeah, you're super dead. Now at the very least he knows what he's playing against. Problem is that there's another hatchery in the bottom right hand corner. So Spore Crawler counts, but yeah, it's off creep. Obviously it can uproot. So as soon as you uproot it, it stops bleeding out. But these Evo chambers, these gases will stay alive as well. He's gonna have to go back into the main base. Okay, is there enough though for the Zerg player to break through this? Look at that Archon without chitinous plating. Ooh, this thing dies so quickly. Yeah, Ultras. Okay, at the very least they get rid of that low HP Colossus. This one has accepted his fate as well. 36 drones are remaining. Dark posted a little crying emoji in the chat. Spawning pool coming up as well. Okay. So, there must have been a small little Zergling counterattack here. I'm actually gonna back off. I think that's... Okay, yeah. So while there was the fight happening over here, the third Ultralisk was tasked with killing this right over here on the right side of the map. That's why a lot of that army was no longer present, but that's why Dark also posted the little crying emoji. Fair enough. 36 drones. They're pretty much all located over here. No, actually. About half of them are located in the bottom right-hand corner. Spawning pool, by the way, cancelled. herO right now going back towards that natural expansion and the main base of the Zerg. This is a banger of a game, number one. I have no idea who's winning this. So the problem is, herO doesn't know about this expansion. I think if he would have known, he would have been Colossus juggling over there. Okay, he's going to check. This is super nice. I think he's a little bit concerned as well for the gold base, but now he sees what's going on. And that is spawning pool number 7, I believe, in this game. Give or take. Colossus should, or an Archon, should really be marching over here. There's no army unit. There's currently no fighting unit here for the Zerg. It's just drones. Yeah. I mean, they're upgraded drones, I suppose, but still having a hard time against the Stalker. Okay. He's got a bunch of minerals. He can spend it on Zerglings. But as long as, yeah, some Protoss army just sits over here, I think he'll be okay. That one herO Stalker now as well. I mean, he would have died ages ago if there were Zerglings available. They're coming up right now, 8 of them. But I guess at this point, herO must realize that there's really not a lot available for the Zerg anymore. Okay, links though are about to pop. These have to be rallied around. Nicely done. No, don't lose them. Okay, one goes down. I don't know if Dark can actually win this game. Yeah, despite the counterattack and him completely demolishing the economy here, I think herO still ends up with a very small lead. Assuming that these units do not leave this location. That prism, super important. As long as it does not die, and since there's no... I think the Spore Crawler... Where's the Spore Crawler? Did it ever die? Okay, it must have bled out. Yeah, since that Spore Crawler is... there's no way, right? There's no win condition anymore here for Dark. Unless herO leaves that pylon unprotected, but he really shouldn't. I mean, he does still have a lot of drones. All of these drones have also mined minerals. Okay, so that's actually a nice little burst of economy. Should go up. Don't know what herO is saying here, but I think he's saying, bro, just leave the game. And Dark is like, ha 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 ha. No. Okay. Very ambitious little spawning pool. That was my watch, sorry. Don't know if you could hear that, but it was time to stand, according to my watch. No, it isn't! I'm casting a game of StarCraft 2, okay? Although we are getting, at least earlier, we were getting to the point where I was ready to stand up, because things were getting very excited. There's actually a bunch of StarCraft commentators at offline events that like to stand while casting. There you go. There's your fun StarCraft trivia for today. I would say 9 out of 10 StarCraft commentators like to sit, but not all of them. Some of them like to stand up while casting games of SC2. Makes a lot of sense. I'm personally a sitter most of the time, but when things get very excited, I'll stand. Yeah. Or very exciting, rather. Turns out my English is at a lower level earlier in the morning. I know. Didn't know that either. Anyhow. There's no way, right? I don't see how Dark can win the game. He's got 9 Zerglings and a Dream. I think what he... No. Can he... These are... Yeah, these are fully upgraded Zerglings other than their armor upgrades. Ooh. Ooh, okay. So, if he can get... Yeah, if he can get like an additional 20 links, there might just be a chance. He still has a lot of drones. herO is not cleaning this up very quickly at all. There's still a ton of creep. So Dark can see a lot of these attacking units from a mile away. Ooh, okay. There's actually a healthy chunk of Zerglings right now. That Archon has 36 kills. Immortal has 26. That Stalker has 15. He scouts it right now. He can't commit. No. There's no way he can commit. He needs more. But he's getting more. I wonder if this is killable here. Like, if these guys are not protected by mineral fields. I wonder if there's a chance for the Zerg to actually kill that. There's still that single prism with the single Archon. There's mining once again in the main base. And there is a queen. Hold up right now. Bro, you get out of my game, you piece of okay, no, I don't know what they're saying. I don't speak Korean, but maybe someone in the comment section of the video can let us know what exactly they've written. I tried doing this with Google Translate in the past, but Google Translate comes up with the weirdest stuff. Okay. Ooh, I love this. Love everything about that. The drones are pulled away as well right now from the mineral line. They do actually get a nice wraparound here. Good pickup control as well, though, by the Protoss player. Colossus eventually does go down. 7 drones have fallen. Second queen is available, though. Gotta be so careful. If that prism dies, I actually think it's game over. Without the prism, actually, this is game over. herO right now sending in more units towards the old main base of the Zerg. That means that this is only protected now by a single Archon. Again, the game ends if herO loses that one pylon. He does not have any workers. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Wait. The amount of drones that Dark had may have actually just enabled him to still win the game. The thing is, we have perfect vision of the minimap, so we can see exactly what's going on and how much time herO actually has. But that must have been a bit of a miscalculation from our Protoss player. Okay, that Immortal, though, doing very nice things. Zoning against... Oh my god, he gets one of the Immortals. Miss Micro right there. Prism! No, the Prism falls! What? This is a win! Yeah, this is a win for Dark. I assumed that game was pretty much over. When I saw that Zerg had like 30 drones and no army units and like 2 hatcheries, and Protoss had, well, like 4 Archons and Immortal. Okay, maybe 3 Archons and Immortal. There was a Colossus and a Prism. And 2 Stalkers or 3... I don't know. There was a good chunk of Protoss. But somehow, some way, Dark, who never gives up, by the way. Dark is very much so the kind of guy who will keep fighting regardless of what's going on. Yeah, somehow, some way, Dark ended up winning. I've actually noticed that in Dark's games. He never really stops believing in himself. Like, StarCraft 2 is very much so a mental game as well. If you believe you are defeated, usually you are. And I think... well, the vast majority of Zerg players would have given up in that game, but... not Dark. Keeps on fighting. Very nicely done. Alright, next up. We find ourselves in Kosmische Saphir. Also known as Cosmic Sapphire. Not entirely sure we're gonna expect any craziness right here for herO, because honestly, that game 1 went really well for him until it didn't. That Wolof actually bit him in the butt in the end too, right? There were like 4 times, maybe 3 times, that Zerglings just ran in through the bottom of that Wolof. It was all just a little bit messy, I'm not exactly sure. We also saw him miss juggling quite a bit in that game. Definitely not the perfect micro that we've come to expect from herO, or at least close to perfect. Do you think this is a safety hazard, by the way? That probe almost fell down the little trapdoor. It's not even a trapdoor, it's just a hole in the floor. I guess they've got a little barricade around it. Still doesn't seem very safe. Anyways, despite the fact, though, that I feel like that game went quite well for herO, at least in the earlier stages of it. He found himself in a wonderful position. He's gonna put a little proxy right next to the marine statue. Probably a Stargate, judging here by the positioning, just because flying oracles like that, it's gonna be pretty sweet. Yep, there it is. Alright. So is Dark gonna pick up on this? I did not pay very close attention to his Overlord scout patterns in game number 1. So there is a chance that this Overlord actually never flew in. Usually you fly in a scouting Overlord. But it's tricky, right? It's tricky to decide exactly when and whether or not that will be the case. So what Dark is looking for here is the second pylon. The tech structure that Protoss goes for is pretty much always attached to the second pylon. So the one over here, it's scouted, okay, yeah, it's scouted, I think, roughly enough. It barely ever happens that Protoss will plant a Stargate over here, because then everything is pylon powered by just a single one. It's not ideal. So usually you go for your tech structure. Oh, Dark. Absolute madman. What in the world? I mean, you should do this every game. There's no reason not to. Instant Spore Crawler in the main base. So normally you don't start that Spore until 3:30, 3:35. Now Dark started it a little bit sooner because he scouted what he's playing against. Okay. Rough start right here for our Protoss. This is not what you want. There's going to be 2 queens available too. Brenda even apparently has enough time to put down a creep tumor as well to connect the main base and the natural. He sees the angle here. Yeah, so what he's hoping for here is that he can catch the natural off guard, because there's definitely going to be a Spore in the main. But that is not the start you're hoping for at all. Adept over here as well, trying to just buy time. This is going to fall eventually. Okay, Pulsar Beam activated as well on Zerglings. Okay, well, this is Dark rubbing salt in the wound that previous game created. herO's gonna have to give up on that position, but he does get a very quick third Nexus, albeit with one of his own mineral fields entirely blocked. Guess the probes can go around, but interesting. Coffee's gone cold. That previous game got the better of me, man. I have water, though. I'm impressed that you still managed to get 3 oracles out of that Stargate. Yeah, actually, triple oracle's really nice. Zerglings, though, have decided to go to the other side of the map, and this is also really quite clever. I think most Zerg players would have considered just killing the Stargate here instead, but since the oracles are obviously not close to the Stargate, well, they're close to the Stargate, but not close to the third base of the Protoss, you may very well try your hand at killing the third Nexus instead. That is one way of alleviating that pressure off of your, well, your main natural and third as well. So Dark committing to quite a few Zerglings here. Again, 38 Zerglings. That's a lot of Zerglings. There have been a bunch of Zergs lately that have done similar things. I've noticed Scarlet do the same thing. Who makes like she makes a really big round of links before she maxes droning. I've seen, I think it was Raynor do the same thing as well. It's a relatively new school way of playing. Because if you think about this, right? If you think about StarCraft 2 in a, you know, like a math formula, okay? Bear with me, this is gonna get real boring. But 1 second, okay? Imagine if all of these oh my god, okay, imagine if all of these Zerglings would have been drones. Your economy is just much bigger. Normally though, when you go for a Queen March, like these Lings normally don't achieve too much when you make them in these big numbers, but normally if you go for a Queen March, you go for Roach Ravager. Now it's Zergling Queen? Zergling Queen, 7 queens, 38 drones. He needs to deal significant chunks of damage in order to justify this. Battery overcharge should be available. Yeah, there is enough energy here in the main base, so the question is when is he going to activate it? There it is. Excellent positioning here as well, actually, by our Protoss player. Who is going to bleed out a couple units here on the left. I don't think that sentry is long for this world either, but really nice defense there. Yeah, he even gets a force field down too. Okay. Eventually, at least the Stargate ended up going down, but this is now becoming a little bit desperate, Dark. So obviously what I was getting at, right? If you have 20 Zerglings, you could have made 10 drones. And if you have 10 drones earlier rather than later, is he still going to justify this attack? Oh, he's trying really desperately, and he does get the Nexus. So now what? I think if you're herO, what you do is you plant down the Nexus again. You just plant it back down. You just accept your losses, knowing very well that Zerg committed heavily into this. Dark is gonna start droning now, which is a little bit... I mean, I guess he has to. He doesn't really have the luxury to just sort of sit there and, you know, make more attacking units. That shield battery is still wonderfully protected. Right now, though, Protoss cannot battery overcharge this battery because the Nexus needs to be finished. Little bit dangerous here. A little bit dangerous here for herO for sure. I think that's also why he's not doing too much with the Oracles, although I would love to see them getting something done. I think an Archon drop also not a bad idea, especially if you go to the Zerg's third base. Yeah. Dark's really good at creating these like weird situations, creating these like very uncomfortable spots, and then seemingly being very comfortable himself. He seems to thrive in chaos, which, yeah, it's pretty sick. So now this game is actually very playable again. Assuming that the attack right here from herO doesn't deal significant amounts of damage, because he's been having that economical advantage for a while. He's got a good chunky army. Immortal, hello. Why are you on the wrong end? Is he brave enough, though, to move out right now? Because the longer he waits, the more I think this is going to go in favor of Dark. Either that, or herO could just turtle up on 3 bases. Yeah, maybe, yeah, okay. I don't mind this either. Just turtle up and don't really do too much. So maybe that's exactly what he's doing. He's just venturing pretty deep onto the creep there. But yeah, try and push that economical advantage. It's mostly been evened up right now, but this is really going to be a game where Dark techs up really hard, right? He's probably going to stick on Roach Ling for the most part. And then obviously there are mutations, but... Careful, don't lose the Prism. Losing the Prism again could be game ending. Honestly, losing Prisms very, very rarely is not a significant loss. It's not even the cost of the Prism. It's the fact that you have to then rebuild it. And then obviously you're not, you know, using the Robo Facility for other Robo Facility related activities. Second Robo... I don't know what that would incline. Or don't worry about it. There's a lot of things you can do with a Robo Facility, okay? I'll explain it some later day. Dark! Dark is playing like a madman today, and I'm loving it. So we had a Ling Queen rush into Roach Ling, which I would imagine is the most he would really make, but now he's like, nope, Nidus Worm together with Swarm Hosts. Dark is gonna be one of the most fun players to watch in StarCraft 2. So sick. Okay, so this is completely unscouted. herO has no clue about this. One big wave of Locusts straight towards the Protoss is natural, can get a ridiculous amount of damage in. And obviously these Swarm Hosts are going to be able to pop back to safety right away. Is he going to target the Nexus itself? I would not be surprised. No, I don't think he really can. No, he can't anymore. He's just going to, I think, just chill over here. Maybe hold position them. Just maximize the damage output. Pretty decent first Locust wave, but not really the one that you're hoping for as a Zerg. Get in there! Swarm Host guy! Swarm Host guy! Stop taunting him, man! Get in there! Oh. Poor Swarm Host guy. At the same time, though, the worm has popped its ugly head out on the other... Well, head? It's always a question, right? So, here's the question. Is this the head? Or what are we... Is this the front end or the back end of the... I think that's the front. So, yeah. So the Swarm Hosts, they jump into the butt of the... And then they jump out on the other end and then they... Yeah, that must be it. It's like a Hydra, you know? The mythological Hydra. Not the Zerg unit, but it's got a lot of heads. Anyway. Important discussion to have by myself at 8 in the morning. Let's see. Honestly, this is... it's pretty wild to me that Dark managed to squeeze a game out of this. I felt like it was over. But I thought that in the previous game as well. And look where we ended up. Again, Prism. Super important. Don't lose it! He does. Still, though, it got its warp in off, and this is now a maxed out Protoss army. Disruptors! Nicely done. Locust Wave on the right side of the map. Not achieving as much as I'd like to. If they can kill the Nexus, maybe they can justify it, but Dark still has to kill this army. I mean, I said that in the previous game, and he did. Yeah, that was not all too successful. I'm a little surprised herO is playing this as passively as he is. Because now he's giving his opponent time to get another Locust Wave out. I would imagine the next Locust Wave is going to be a defensive one. Okay, there go the Purification Novas. Pretty decent dodges there, but once more, losing a couple of those Roaches and Ravagers. And this Protoss army is just looking menacing. Yeah. Cool game from Dark. But I don't see how he's going to be able to win after that Queen Zergling push in the earlier stages of the game, right? It's taken, yeah, about 8 minutes longer than I thought it was going to take. But I think herO has still got this one in the bag. Okay, hatchery here is gonna fall. I say that. Where's the Locust? Locusts are once again gonna be flying up north. Drones are pulled away right now as well. When you're putting drones into Colossi and Archons, you know things have gotten a little bit desperate. Reinforcing units coming up, but there's the Locust Wave. They'll probably get rid of a bunch of probes and then maybe even the Nexus too. But it's still all about this army. Okay. Corrosive Balls here, desperately lending. I mean, I can't believe Dark is still dragging his way through this, but I don't think he's got enough. He's playing with this confidence, bro. He's playing with this confidence, though, right? It's actually pretty sick. Somehow he seems to be making a game out of this, but there's really no way, is there? Oh my god, if this happens again. I've already been wrong once today in today's cast. Oh, yeah. Shoot those lasers. Make me look smart, herO. Nah, there's no way. I mean, there's no way, right? I think this game is about to be over. So these guys will not have a way to go home anymore. I mean, it doesn't really matter all too much, but that static defense here is very helpful. Okay. I don't think he's got burrow, does he? No, he does not have burrow. So these units are just going to accept their deaths over here. Roaches and Ravagers, though, coming in from both sides. No way that one's going to explode, but there's still a lot of damage being done now by the Zealots and the Stalkers that are chasing down this Ravager army. And it's herO who gets a point on the board. I was fast-forwarding through the first minute or so of this game, and then I realized, wait a second. We find ourselves on Data C, and if you weren't already a Dark fan, I think you will be after this series, because, well, there's a 12 pool going down right now. Okay. Let's talk about the 12 pool for a little bit. I have 12 pooled probably 1,000 Protoss players on the ladder. I still firmly believe that the 12 pool is a macro build that just allows you to shut down all of the stupid stuff that players tend to go for on the ladder. So say you're struggling against cannon rushes, proxy, gateway, whatever, right? Like there's a lot of cheeses that Protoss can go for in the early game. And what's really nice, okay, this is the all-in variant though of this build. But what's really nice about the 12 pool is that you can shut all of that down. And if Protoss responds perfectly, you're only a little bit behind. The problem is that a lot of, well, problem for Protoss anyways, is that there's not a lot of people that actually 12 pool a lot. And at the pro level, you barely ever see this build. So usually what you do is you make 10 Zerglings, and then you make a Queen, and you expand on the back of it, right? Dark, however, I think he wants to go for a hatchery. I've seen hatcheries as part of the Wolof. I've seen Bly play that. I don't think he can squeeze a hatchery over here. But we'll have to see what he decides to go for. Okay, there is a hatchery on the low ground as well. What is this one drone here for? So Dark not going for a Queen or anything like that. He's just making non-stop Zerglings here. But if he wants to go back into droning, why is he making another hatch? Okay, now the probe here headbutts with what's going on. There's the drone as well. I think the drone here is just to block. Yeah, that must be the reason. If Protoss wanted to go for a full wall-off, and I feel like this structure may actually be a little bit too far forward. If you wanted to go for a wall-off, I think the drone there was in charge of preventing that from happening. Good control, though, here by the Protoss player, yeah. Loses 5 probes, but if you look right now at the worker count, it's 13 versus 16. So Protoss could probably lose up to like 6 or 7 workers and be okay. This pylon is actually not in the right spot, is it? It's a little hard to tell, but... yeah, I think if you wanted to complete the wall off, though, the drone right there was in charge of just blocking that. So he made a lot of links. Normally with this build, you make only 10. Ooh, if he snipes the pylon before the adept. Well, the adept comes out. Gets surrounded right away as well. I think the split damage right here on both of those gateway units is actually a mistake. Now he gets to replant the pylon, so that's good. At the very least, now it will be fine. Yeah, so I thought he was going to go for a proxy hatchery as well. So what I've seen before is people go for a 12 pool, and then they basically complete the wall off for the Protoss player by planting a hatchery in the wall. It looks really funny. It makes for an excellent YouTube video thumbnail. Adept actually lives with 1 HP. But I don't think you can do it on a map with like a ramp that leads up. So if like the terrain is flat in the natural, you can actually fit a hatchery pretty easily. But over here, it's kind of difficult to pull off. Anyhow. Big picture here in the end. 16 Zerglings for 6 probes and a pylon. Relatively even game, I would imagine. And I think that herO is okay, assuming he starts chrono boosting his probes again as well. I really do think he needs to double down on chrono boosting here. I'm not sure why he's saving up energy. Okay, there he goes. Oh, okay. Ooh. He decides to chrono boost out the warp gate research. Interesting. Now, as someone who likes the 12 pool quite a bit, one of the problems you run into is these 2 adepts. Because you ideally have to shut them down, right? So you have to remake the Zerglings that you just spent on the other side of the map. And when you're already... oh my god, did he just... really? Okay. Normally you want about 10 Zerglings or so against him, since your link speed is not going to be too quick on the back of this either. It's actually kind of tricky to get much done, but anyways, apparently he cleaned them up pretty easily. I'm surprised that herO actually got stuck right there between the mineral field and the queen. It's not really where you want to be. Anyway. One more thing that I like about the 12 pool, and then I'll shut up about it, okay? Protoss build orders in general are very rigid. So a lot of the timings are very, very rigid. And if things are not in the way that Protoss players had originally intended them, it's really difficult for them to take an additional base. Because this game is now, all of the timings are thrown out of the window. For Zork, it's a little bit easier to be flexible with the follow-up than it is for Protoss. Because how many units do you need right now to march down over here and make another Nexus? Can you plant it down at 450 when you normally do? Probably not. Should you wait until the Glaives upgrade is done? Probably. But everything is a little bit funky now. And generally speaking, I do like that a little bit better for the Zerg. That being said, the tech here from the Zerg is very late. Link speed is not going to be done before Glaives. So Glaives is going to finish very soon. There's no way herO wants to commit here. No. He's just scouting the worker count at the 3rd. That was really nicely done. He checked the amount of units there. He's like, you know what? If you're not droning, I don't think I want to be attacking you. Very nice scouts. He's decided to go for a Dark Shrine on the back of this too, and I love that. So again, the tech here from the Zerg is late. And if the tech of the Zerg player is late and they're not making drones, they're probably making attacking units. But do they have a lair on the back of this? Unlikely. They'll probably not have a lair. They'll probably, yeah, just go into mass unit production here instead, which is what Dark has been fond of anyways in this series so far. So if you can go for a couple of Dark Templar, I mean, they're obviously really good offensively, but they're even better defensively. Zerg decides to go for a slow roach with, you know, a couple of Ravagers. Yeah, if you don't see drones here, I don't think you have to commit. I actually think it's a mistake to attack right now. Are you sure you want to attack herO? Because it looks to me like you do. I think making a 3rd base is probably your best call. Because Dark is making an awful lot of units. 62 Zerglings. Okay, Dark Templar are now inside of this prism. There is detection in the form of Spore Crawlers. Oh, no, don't lose it. Don't lose the prism. Okay. Thought he was not paying attention there. This is really good, though, here for... Sorry. This is really good right here for... Ooh, no, 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 no. What? Hold up right now. This is really good for herO is what I was gonna say. Before he lost the Prism and the 4 Dark Templar for essentially free. What in the world was that? No third Nexus now. Yeah, now he's gonna try and expand. Lara's obviously, Huh? That exchange was so weird. He lost 2 queens. But 4 Dark Templar. Maybe a couple of Zerglings as well. And then a Prism. That exchange was not supposed to go like that, herO. We've honestly seen herO make some uncharacteristic slip-ups in this series so far. I mean, I understand that it's really difficult to micro your units perfectly. But, yeah, it's essentially what is expected at this level of play. Now, there are a couple Bailings here. Very clumped up Adepts as well. Another Prism ends up going down there to the Corrosive Biles. GG. Wow. Okay. I don't think this game was supposed to go like that, but... Next up, Tropical Sacrifice. Okay. Dark once again, saving up resources. No drones, no nothing. All we're gonna do is make a spawning pool at 12 supply. So normally you drone up until 14. Yeah, you mine the close by mineral fields as well. It's a very small difference, but you wanna mine the close by mineral fields rather than the ones far away. Just because you get ever so slightly more income. But speaking of income, this game is already going in favor of the Protoss player. Early scout here as well from herO, which I love. Ooh, okay. You know what? That drone timing, I think he probably sent that drone down towards the low ground at the same point in the previous game. But the reason why he sent it at that timing is because it looks like he's gonna make a natural, and then he sees the probe, and he's like, I guess I'll go for the third base instead. Yeah, so herO is checking both third base locations right now, and now he knows. Now he should know anyways, that he's going up against the 12 pool. But imagine if he would have patrolled a little bit longer over there. You probably wouldn't have found out. Ooh, pylon over here. You probably wouldn't have found out until a little while later. He's gonna check for proxy hatcheries. Yep, and okay, well, this is what I was trying to explain in the previous game. How do you break this? How do you break this as herO? Well, step 1, a forge. This is a defensive forge to try and build photon cannons in his own natural. There's now a wall or a hole in the wall over here, as well as a hole in the wall over there. Not much you can do about that. When the hatchery finishes, by the way, Zerglings can run around it. So yeah, he's trying to make a wall for now. But obviously, one thing that you can do here as Dark, even if this is a full wall, is just cancel the hatch. You can always just cancel the hatch and just run in. He doesn't need to, but he can. Natural expansion taken on the back of this too. Oh, probes are pulled away from their main mineral line as well, but good control right here from herO. That's what we want to see. Crazy games today, though. Honestly, every game in this series has been really good. Really fun series. Okay, is this okay? He loses the Zealot here, I believe. Photon Cannon is finally coming up, but the Zerglings are on top of them already. This is now starting to be quite a bit of damage. Still only 12 drones on the other side of the map, 19 probes. Queen is coming up. Look at this. What is going on right now? At least I got a good screenshot for a thumbnail. What is happening here? Okay, drone is coming up too. I think Dark wants to go for a spine crawler. The only reason you'd be making a drone over here is if you want to make a spine crawler on your opponent's natural expansion. Oh no. Oh no. Dark. Dark is wiping the floor. Yeah, with herO. That was herO basically laughing right there, saying, okay, there's no way I'm going to be able to win this series. GG is cold, and it's Dark who wins 3-1. Hey, if you made it all the way until the end of this series and you enjoyed watching this video, please take the 1 second that it takes to hit the like button down below. It really does help. But for now, have a great rest of your day. Don't forget to smile, and I'll see you once again in the next one.